What if a world-famous star was thrown into a maximum security male prison by mistake? Coco Jones, calm and composed, sits among hardened inmates and watchful guards, her mind already analyzing every corner of her new surroundings. Tension crackles in the air as eyes follow her every move, whispers spreading through the cell block. Danger lurks behind every glance, every smirk, and every locked gate. But what none of them realize is that Coco is not just a celebrity, she is a Delta Force commander, trained to handle threats they can't even imagine. Coco Jones had never imagined a situation like this. One moment she was stepping off a plane, confident and celebrated, and the next she was being processed into a maximum security male prison. The cold, sterile air hit her immediately, mingling with the metallic scent of iron bars and the low murmur of hardened inmates. Guards with unreadable expressions moved around briskly, their eyes scanning every newcomer, while Coco's heart raced as she observed the environment with careful precision. A few inmates whispered behind her back, laughter laced with mockery and subtle threats. She noticed the tension in the cell block, the way some men flexed their muscles or stared too long, testing boundaries. Prison staff went about their duties with a mixture of indifference and authority, not yet realizing the storm they had allowed inside. Every detail mattered to Coco, the placement of cameras, the angle of security doors, the body language of everyone around her. Her mind catalogued potential risks, escape routes, and possible allies, all while maintaining a calm exterior. The whispers grew louder, some daring to challenge her silently, but she remained unshaken. Coco understood instantly that she was in hostile territory, a world where strength and awareness dictated survival. And yet, beneath her composed gaze, a deeper power waited, one they could never anticipate. From the moment Coco stepped into the common area, tension rippled through the room. Male inmates eyed her with suspicion, some smirking, others muttering under their breath. A tall man leaned against the wall, testing her presence with a cocky stare, while another whispered a challenge to his friend, hoping to provoke a reaction. Coco remained perfectly composed, her eyes scanning the environment, noting every corner, every guard's position, and every subtle shift in power dynamics. She recognized the hierarchy instantly, the alpha males, the opportunists, the ones looking for a quick laugh at someone they assumed was weak. Some guards glanced at her, underestimating the quiet confidence she radiated. They assumed a celebrity, a young woman in their territory, would be easy to intimidate. A group of inmates edged closer, their laughter low and taunting, trying to break her calm demeanor. Coco's hands stayed relaxed, her posture steady, yet every muscle was ready, every instinct alert. The audience could sense that she was observing, calculating, and mentally preparing for anything that might happen next. Whispers spread faster as some inmates debated whether she was worth testing, while others openly mocked her. Coco's gaze never wavered, she gave nothing away, not a hint of fear, not a sign of weakness. Microhooks built suspense, a glance toward an overly confident inmate, the slight narrowing of her eyes, a tiny shift in stance, it was all signaling that she was far from ordinary. Nobody in that room yet realized that the woman they were trying to intimidate had the skills, the training, and the discipline to turn every challenge in her favor. The tension in the air was electric, a silent warning that the game was about to change, and Coco was ready. A group of inmates circled Coco during recreation, their smirks widening as they whispered threats and challenges. One stepped forward, shoving her lightly against the wall, testing her reaction. Coco's response was subtle but precise, a small pivot, a controlled block, enough to stop the aggression without drawing attention to her true strength. The others laughed, assuming she was intimidated, but her calm expression gave nothing away. She shifted her weight, subtly positioning herself to control space, her eyes scanning each man for weaknesses, predicting movements before they happened. Microhooks kept tension high, a flicker of awareness, a silent calculation, a barely noticeable change in stance, signs that she was ready for anything, far beyond what they could guess. The audience senses her tactical advantage, hidden behind a composed exterior, yet every action is deliberate and measured. Verbal jabs followed, insults and mockery filling the air, but Coco's steady voice and unwavering gaze diffused the situation without escalating it. She controlled the space, maintaining authority without revealing the deadly skills she possessed. The inmates backed off slightly, unsure how to read her, and the audience feels the danger mounting. The slightest misstep could trigger a full reveal of her Delta Force training. Every whispered threat, every mocking laugh, and every subtle shove only increases suspense. Coco's hidden power looms over the cell block, invisible yet palpable, making the audience anticipate the moment when she will finally unleash it. Coco found herself pressed against the far wall of the prison yard, a group of inmates closing in, their confidence turning into arrogance. The air was thick with tension, and every whisper now carried challenge. Then, with a sudden, fluid motion, she shifted her weight, her stance precise, controlled, and instantly calculated. In one seamless sequence, she deflected a shove, used an opponent's momentum against him, and moved with a speed that left the crowd frozen. Each step, each gesture, displayed the efficiency of someone trained beyond ordinary human limits. Guards and prisoners alike froze, their disbelief palpable as they realized this was no ordinary inmate. Coco's eyes scanned constantly, analyzing threats, exploiting openings, and neutralizing each challenge before it escalated. Her movements were surgical, disarming, redirecting, and controlling with minimal effort but maximum effect. Microhooks intensify the suspense, whispers rippled through the yard, "Who is Coco Jones really?" Inmates who had laughed and mocked moments ago now hesitated, fear replacing arrogance. Every action she took demonstrated tactical awareness and combat discipline that none could anticipate. She was calm, calculating, and ruthlessly effective, her Delta Force training shining through in every motion. The yard, once a chaotic battlefield of intimidation, became a stage where Coco commanded the space without raising her voice. Observers began questioning everything they thought they knew about her, their confidence shattered. The suspense builds. How far will Coco push, and who dares challenge her next? Every microhook reminds the audience that the full extent of her power has yet to be revealed, leaving them on the edge of their seats. The prison yard erupted into chaos as the most dangerous inmates lunged toward Coco, their shouts and aggression filling the air. Every movement was a potential threat, every glance a challenge. Coco's heart pounded, adrenaline surging, but her composure never wavered. She shifted her weight with precision, anticipating attacks, using each aggressor's momentum against them. A push here, a pivot there, each strike calculated and effective, neutralizing threats with minimal effort but maximum impact. Microhooks kept the tension high. Could anyone stop her? Inmates who had once mocked her froze as they realized the deadly reality of facing a trained Delta Force commander. Coco's awareness extended beyond her attackers. She monitored guards, bystanders, and the environment, making sure no one else was endangered. Her tactical mindset transformed chaos into control, turning what seemed like an impossible situation completely in her favor. The emotional stakes were intense. She feared for innocent prisoners nearby and worried about the consequences if her true identity was revealed. Every strike and maneuver carried the weight of responsibility, yet Coco executed with flawless precision, disarming, redirecting, and subduing each threat. Microhooks punctuated each paragraph, heightening engagement. The audience could feel every heartbeat, every second of suspense, and the magnitude of her power. By the climax, the yard was silent but tense. Coco stood resolute, the chaos quelled, her dominance unmistakable. Inmates and guards alike now understood that underestimating her was a fatal mistake. Suspense lingered. How would the prison authorities respond, and could she maintain control until help arrived? Every microhook ensured viewers remained on edge, captivated by the mastery and intensity of Coco's actions. The yard fell into stunned silence. Inmates who had been loud and aggressive moments before now whispered among themselves, glancing nervously at Coco. Even the guards, initially dismissive, began reassessing their perception of her. They had underestimated her presence, her awareness, and the lethal precision behind every move. Some prisoners who had observed her skill from the sidelines quietly stepped closer, offering subtle signs of support and alliance.